Welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists, an occasionally smart, always irreverent look at sports in St. Louis and beyond. And now, your St. Louis Sportists.
Hello and welcome to an episode of the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists. My name is Ron Cook, and I am joined by Joe Sperlin.
Hey, good to be here. Glad to see everybody.
Doug Lansdowne.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, we got the whole group tonight. Going to be fun.
It is. It's a full house. Keith Farrell.
Cheers, everybody.
As well as Tom Mathis back from assignment.
Whoa. Great to be back with everybody. How's everyone doing tonight?
I'm outstanding because I'm getting a new head coach, and apparently the governor's hiring him, but we'll get to that later. In this edition, the Blues can't keep the puck out of their own net, and they're not so much into scoring either. Mizzou loses a close game and a starting quarterback. The Chiefs plow another opponent at home, but the Bills await Sunday. And more coaching chaos in college football. The St. Louis Sportists are brought to you by First Coast Steel Buildings. Jason and his team will take your project from design to completion with a family-first approach. Learn more at firstcoaststeel.com, and we'll hear more from them later in the show. And tonight's last call is brought to you by Black Dog Consulting, LLC, here to help the one-truck owner and the small fleet owner to grow and prosper. Contact Dave at 417-217-9622. Black Dog Consulting, helping you retrieve bigger profits. We would like to ask you, wherever you get your podcasts, if you could give us a rating, some stars, anything like that. If you're so inclined to write a comment, that helps us out so much. We're on X, Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, and our website is stlsportists.com. And we would also like to remind you that it's not too late to get in your 5 St. Louis sports icons. We're going on with Khaled Abdallah and the 40/40 Vision podcast tomorrow to count down the 5 St. Louis sports icons. And I have just put together a shocking list of people that are not going to make it, Keith.
Very cool.
It's a shocking list. With that, time for quick hits, Joe Sperlin.
I'm going to assume that the 5 of us are not going to be on that list. That's the shocking part.
Not yet.
Hey, if you've watched any sports on the 4-letter network, ESPN, you've noticed they're going to drop. Them and YouTube are in argument over pricing. Imagine that. So this weekend, when your ESPN gets cut off, what is your options? You can go to Sling, who, by the way, is financially in trouble with Dish Network, which could stop at any time. Or you could go to Hulu TV. Wait a second. Who's owned by ESPN and Disney, who is doing the argument with YouTube TV. How do you think this is going to end up? Could this be a way of saying, okay, YouTube TV, you either pay it or everyone come to Hulu, come to ESPN app? Hey, and that's all I've got to say about that. I think you guys know my feelings on that. I do not want to get into anything further. That's on my political podcast, which is this week too. By the way, I'm not handing out any candy either. So yeah, you kids get off my lawn is all I'm going to say. That's kind of how I feel about all this. Just sticking it to the man is all I'm going to say.
Joe Sperlin comes in hot. Doug Lansdowne, what do you have?
Well, speaking of handing out candy, I'll have the official count next week, but we typically have about 800 at our house for Halloween.
Oh,
so,
good Lord.
We have a clicker. Yeah, we take turns keeping track. So I'll have the official count next week. I too was going to talk.
Going to be down about $2,000.
Oh yeah, no, I think we have 22 bags of candy.
Oh my gosh!
And I mean bag of candy. Oh yeah, it's an event. So
is it the whole sacks? You have 22 feed sacks.
It's the whole town.
I was going to talk about broadcasting too, and I'm not none of us are huge NBA guys and stuff, but I've kind of been impressed with NBC going all out to get the NBA up and going again. And talking about ESPN, they've done such a piss poor job of trying to bring it to us. They have to bring the guys in from TNT to do their games now, pregame and stuff. So I can't figure any of that out. But yeah, NBC, you got to give it to them. They're all in on the NBA.
They brought John Tesh back. They brought Round Ball Rock back, which is just a...
I'll be honest, I was shocked today when I left it on and there was Shaq, Kenny, and Charles and on ESPN.
Yep.
Yeah. And Doug, to your point, we don't talk a lot of NBA, like you
Thank
said,
God.
but I did love this quote from Charles Barkley. He said, "In my day, when a coach criticized you, it was called good coaching. When people criticize players today, it's called hating. And that's why these bums be driving me crazy. It ain't criticism, it's coaching."
That's right.
Mr. Mathis.
So I have a name that I want everybody to keep in the back of their minds. The name is Ryan Silverfield. He is the University of Memphis football coach. He was hired by Laird Veach, who is the University of Missouri athletic director, just in case, and I think there's a good probability that Eli may be moving on after this year. I just keep that name in the back of your mind, just for the next couple of weeks or months.
And that would fit perfectly with kind of like how they got Dennis Gates from a mid-major, and he came up and did well. So,
Right.
Yeah.
And to me, as long as they can keep the NIL process that they have set up, I think they'll be okay. But that's going to be the biggest thing, is just being able to keep that process in place.
Yeah. Interesting. All right. So we have a clip and save already. Mr. Terrell.
Tom, that'd be a good one.
I got to hand it to the Toronto Blue Jays for making this a great series. Go Blue Jays. They've had that 18-inning loss, which is the only thing keeping them away from a 3-0 lead right now. Did you hear that Brad Paisley? He was the singer of the national anthem in the other only 18-inning game. So do you think they're going to be inviting him back?
I don't.
Commercial or what?
I think the only way you'll ever see him is on YouTube doing the anthem before a World Series.
I don't think anyone's going to hire him.
No.
But go Blue Jays. Stay away from my Cardinals record. Dodgers. Cardinals have those 11 World Series wins. Dodgers have 8.
Yeah.
And they are just poised to go into attack mode. So anything we can do, Blue Jays, go for it. Take them out.
I agree. And as we record right now, Toronto up 2-0 in the bottom of the second here. So I'm going to stick with baseball, Keith. The Los Angeles Dodgers are set to become the first North American club to reach the $200 million mark in annual sponsorship revenue. And they are funded by 76 different sponsors. Fun fact, 20 of them are Japanese. So
Shocking.
they got 6 new deals in 2025. And just to give you an idea of how much they're kind of lapping the field here, their average sponsorship deal is 5 times what the normal sponsorship deal is. So anyway, they're one of only 5 teams have 100 million, and that's Yankees, Red Sox, Cubs, and Braves. And you're like, okay, Ron, great. What does that mean for anything? I go back to 1996 when I was managing a sponsorship for a local company here at the time called Ameritech. And a Cardinal vice president said to me, your sponsorship's $1 million, and our first baseman, John Mabry's making about $980,000. So you're basically covering the cost of our first baseman this year. At which point I said, hey, Dan, can I get a shoulder patch or something? And he just kind of tilted his head like... But so when you look at that Dodger lineup or that Dodger payroll and you think, how can they afford all these guys? There you go. Doug Lansdowne, Saturday in Nashville, University of Missouri, Columbia, sunk by the Commodores.
For 3/4 of the third quarter, like I texted the group, I said, that was coaching malpractice. So what were they doing? I mean, and then they got Pribula, they got his leg broke. So, I don't know. I thought the defense played great. I didn't think the defense would give Pavia that much trouble. So I mean, they did everything they could to win the game. I was really, that's probably as disappointed I've been on the coaching staff from Mizzou's end for a few years, just because I felt like that play calling was terrible.
It was not good, Tom.
No, it wasn't. I mean, again, you have three times at the 2-yard line, I think, and you don't give the ball to Ahmad Hardy. I mean, he's your biggest weapon. Just give him the ball and, trying to trick him with the play action and then trying to, run Pribula. But I don't know. It kind of worries me. And I've heard talk this week that, that this might be the best defense that Mizzou's ever had. And they might be right because they're pretty tough and they're fun to watch. I mean, we were worried about the secondary still can give up some big plays, but they've improved from the beginning of the season. So they're fun to watch. That defensive line is just they get after them.
Yeah. I remember, Joe Sperlin, at the beginning of the year, we had the question about which Mizzou quarterback would get more snaps. I guess we can answer that right now. we have final numbers.
Yes.
Well, one had a snapped leg and the other one had a snapped knee, right?
I was getting ready to say there was some snaps. I was going to say the same thing. There was some snaps. You don't need any more snaps. Hey, he come in and I thought he did a good job. And the defense, they give up an 80-yard run. I mean, you can't let that happen, obviously. But Vandy made plays when they had to, and Mizzou didn't. But be an interesting game coming up after the bye week.
Very good time for a bye week. And Keith, we knew that kicker injury would come back and bite them at some point. We just didn't know when.
They're leaving points on the board. I mean, what's the motivation behind that? Early on, they went for that fourth down and whatever, missed it, turned the ball over, had a missed kick. Yeah, I mean, that's where your depth is going to be tested, and they had no depth at that position, which most teams don't. But I thought that running Pribula as much as they did was putting them in a ticking time bomb with injury. I mean, why are you? It's the same play that they scored on in the previous week, and what an unfortunate set of circumstances. But boy, do you put that on execution of the players, or do you put that on just bad coaching? I think it's bad coaching.
Yeah. And Zollers came in, played very well, actually. He had more passing yards, I want to say, than Pribula. One of the local guys here has said that it's possible we've seen the last of Pribula in a Mizzou uniform, especially if Zollers steps up and kind of claims the job here the rest of the way. Joe, is that just kind of what we're looking at in terms of everyone's a free agent in college football now?
Oh yeah. I think everybody's looking for a better deal if they think there's not getting to play, and probably wishful thinking by Mizzou faithful that, hey, if this guy can get it done, this could be our guy. And then I think that's what you look for. You just sit there and go, oh God, now thank God we got 6 wins. We're going to make it to a bowl because we're not going to win another game.
So 2 things.
Here we come, Shreveport.
I worry about if Drink leaves, that Zollers goes with him. I do worry about that. In that case, Bo stays, probably. And then the other thing is, one of the radio guys here in St. Louis, he did some research, and all the other SEC teams have like 2 or 3 backup kickers that are pretty decent going into the season. And Mizzou had a freshman who was very unproven. And then when the starting kicker got hurt, they went to a JUCO and, signed somebody who was playing at JUCO. If he wasn't playing in D1, there's a reason why. And I'm not thinking it's his grades. So.
No. In fact, there was the comment made in this very room while watching it that he looked terrified in like his picture they flash up,
Yeah. Yeah. And have you seen that JUCO kicker, his tweet this weekend? After on Sunday, he was kicking like 50-yard field goals. And he goes, I forget what he said, but he posted that on Twitter or X.
Can they sign the Vanderbilt guy that made the field goal for game day?
No kidding.
Holy
That's
crap,
right. That's
hammered
what I
that
thought.
one.
Yeah.
He nailed
Yeah.
that. Doug, I want to go back to Tom's quick hit, and that is about Drink leaving. If he wants to leave, I don't know that his value is ever going to be higher. And I think one number might cause that, and that is the number 9, which is the number of SEC games they will play next year. Meaning those 4 cream puffs he normally has will go down to 3.
If he leaves, he leaves. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I didn't like him at all to begin with, and I've changed. I mean, I like him, but if he leaves, he leaves. I
here's
think
my
they can find
question.
somebody. Yeah,
If he stays, how much are you willing to pay him and for how long?
exactly.
Right. And does he have a ceiling as a head coach? I don't know. I mean, we've talked about, his record against some of the top teams and even the SEC. I don't know if he's going to be able to compete for the championship in the league.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was looking for. I want to say he's something like 26 and 22 against the SEC in his career.
Yeah.
So
And his signature win is against
LSU.
Exactly.
LSU.
COVID year.
As I like to point out to my wife, that was the COVID year. So
Yeah. But
I think we had 21 healthy players traveled from Baton Rouge. So let's go to, speaking of LSU, Keith Farrell. I got up Sunday morning and the first thing I said to my wife is they're going to fire Brian Kelley today.
What a hot mess. What a mess. And kind of interesting news, but were they ponying up like $50 million just
much less?
Oh,
yes, go ahead, Joe. One person is stepping up to pay it, and it is only 27 because I haven't said anything else about this. There was something, he violated some clause in his contract, so it basically cut it in half. So yes, one person is covering it, and the thing that makes it more palatable for those of you out there that are fans of time value of money, the payments are monthly. So they will be making the payments over a 6-year period. So in other words, in 6 years, it's not going to be the same dollars as it would be today.
So you got Brian Kelley Day every month.
Yeah. That's great.
Ron, I know I told you
be
this, but when they run that punt back and he turned real calmly to the coach and said, "That just cost you your job." I'm pretty sure, I think he said I don't know if he said ours, but it was, that just cost us our job.
Yep.
And the most mind-blowing thing about that game to me was it was 18-14. And we sat here and Keith's like, "Okay, Ron, what's your prediction in the second half?" I'm like, "Kelley makes good adjustments. They come out, they hang on for a tight win." And Keith's like, "No, A&M wins by double digits."
That is a true factual story.
So I want to give credit to Keith, and I also want to give credit to Tom Mathis, who predicted Brian Kelley would be fired before the season started.
Hey!
Yeah, way to go.
I think I said he would be
was
the
my
first
national
coach
champion.
Yeah. So congratulations on that. We won't get into your national champion because we're too nice to do that.
Ron,
No, thank you.
Do you think Brian Kelley gets another job?
Yes, soon.
See,
Central
I
Michigan.
don't think he does.
Huh?
I just don't think he gets one.
I don't either.
He might go into TV. I mean, they said that he has expressed interest in going into TV. So you'll catch him on the Conference USA Wednesday night game here with the Missouri State Bears. As far as replacements in the Bayou, we are here. Okay, so the Nick Saban thing. Let's just get this out of the way. Feinbaum brought it up. Saban has said that it was his biggest professional mistake leaving LSU. Oh. And what Feinbaum said, and it's consistent with what my podcast said this morning, is that they will have a conversation, and they said they really think it's the only school in the country that Saban would take the call.
Really?
But They said he got out because of transfer portal and NIL, and neither of those have really improved since he left.
Oh, man. He's going to have to hire one heck of a staff to deal with that BS.
Yeah. So I'm not counting on him. We are hearing Sumrall, we're hearing Lane, we're hearing Dillingham, so it's just kind of all over the place.
My
And
favorite
Joe, that
name, Dan Mullen.
I've heard Dan Mullen.
Oh.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
Ron just speechless on the Dan Mullen.
Well, he'd be a budget pick, I'll say that. And then, Doug, you get into the secondary carousel. Whoever's going to replace Lane at Ole Miss, and whoever's going to, as Tom said, replace Drink at Mizzou. So we get 2 rounds of this.
We get 2 rounds, and we've had have we had 7 straight weeks with a Division I football coach fired?
That sounds right.
Wow. Will Belichick survive?
I think Belichick will finish the year, but I wouldn't say anything beyond that. Joe, who do you think's next? Who's going next?
Doug, how many guys do you think that the governor of their state is going to make the hire?
Back to
one.
Huey Long. So yeah, the governor of Louisiana has said that he and a committee will make the hire. I wasn't kidding. Huey Long actually did hire and fire the coaches back in the 30s. So he and the athletic director do not get along. They are of differing political parties and we're on different sides of the aisle and just don't like each other. So I think LSU will get a new athletic director as well.
The next coach to get fired probably be in Wisconsin, Luke Fickell.
Fickell's an excellent choice. How do you think Hugh Freeze is feeling down there on the plains?
He can't be feeling very confident either. So, yeah.
No.
But I don't know if they'd fire him before the Iron Bowl. They might wait till the end of the season.
The opening that I heard today that just kind of made me go, huh? Was there are whispers around the state of Oklahoma that the Sooners might make a move if things do not improve over these next few games.
They got a tough one this week, too.
They might fire Venables after the Tigers beat them.
Entirely possible. And Zoller sets a school record throwing for 680 yards or something.
Exactly.
Keith Farrell, and Tom, here comes your siesta. Keith Farrell, the Kansas City Chiefs, played their best game. I wouldn't say that was their best game. They played a really solid game, beating the Washington, whatever we're calling them this week.
Yeah, they they came out, they mixed it up. They they had some stupid penalties, they had some stupid turnovers. Even Kelsey had that turnover go up his hands again. You had Rashid Rice throw a football at dead ball foul at one of the Commander players,
He was throwing it back to the ref.
Like a dope.
Yeah,
yeah. Everyone thought he was throwing it to the ref, and but yeah, it was a solid game when you don't play well and you kind of dominate. I think they're hitting their midseason stride, and when you go into Buffalo with that sort of momentum, and Buffalo has not exactly been playing well, I think it's going to set up for a pretty nice game for the Chiefs. These two teams bring out the best in each other, and what happened. They're very, very familiar with each other, so this is where coaching is going to, I think, play a major factor. A trick play, one turnover. It's definitely going to be a one-score game.
Joe Sperlin, you know who's calling the plays for the Bills this week, don't you?
The future LSU head coach?
Well, that would be Joe Brady, who was the offensive coordinator of the 2019 LSU team and is also a candidate to go back down to the Bayou.
There's your bargain guy that...
Oh, yeah?
When someone sits there and says, it's going to cost you $80 million just to hire Lane, and you got this other guy going, I can do it cheaper than that.
Brady is making 1.5. Law and Order Toronto is coming on right now. Brady is making $1.5 million. So yeah, I think he would be a budget buy there.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll do it for 4 years and $4 million a year, and then you can extend after that, Governor.
You can go. You can go crazy on assistants. You can bring in amazing coordinators and everyone. Doug, the Are the Chiefs, now that they have all their receivers back and the defense is playing better, are the Chiefs, does the road to the Super Bowl go through Gia Field?
I think so. Last year they would win every game by a point, and you think how they do it. They just look different this year. After those first 2 weeks, they look better.
Yeah.
They've got playmakers and stuff, and the reason they may not host through the playoffs, maybe that Monday night game about 3 weeks ago, that might be the one come back against them. But yeah, this is a big game.
Do they have enough running backs, Keith? Are you confident in the running game?
Yes.
Okay.
I think Pacheco is I think he's back to form. He's a human bowling ball. He's running hard. He's moving the line. And with him and Hunt, the 1-2 combo back there, I think the running game is in good shape.
Joe Sperlin, Lamar Jackson is coming back just in time to save the season.
I saw something, I think it was on ESPN, that Baltimore is currently the favorite to win their division.
Well, there you go. Once you get in the playoffs.
Behind the Mud Hut Steelers, and they're hey, all they got to do is get in the playoffs, baby.
Yeah, I had that in my notes too. Is that division is poised for a takeover.
Yeah. Lamar's coming back, and they looked pretty decent last week, I thought.
Joe Sperlin, it's time for prognostications. It's time for us to put our prediction skills to the test as we go to Blue Horseshoe's Corner. I would like to remind everyone that these picks coming up are for recreational purposes only and should not be the basis for any real wager. If you believe you have a gambling problem, yes, you, call 1-800-GAMBLER. With that, Joe Sperlin.
Tom, you ready? We're back to the college. We'll start with college.
I'm ready.
And I'd like to say this. This is where Saturday will be November. And as they say, November remembers. So we have to do our standard non-SEC game, and it's Rutgers at Illinois. Now, Illinois has got a favorable schedule to win out. They're 6-3 against Rutgers and won 4 out of the last 5. Illinois minus 12.5 at home. Ron, you're shaking your head. We'll start with you.
I am back. I'm back on the Bird Express. They played okay at Washington. We had that one on here, but Washington it was almost like they wore down. But I'm back on Burt. Go Illinois.
All right. Keith, what do you think?
I think Illinois covers. You're looking at a Rutgers team who had a 4-game losing streak going into last week's game at Purdue, who was winless in the Big 18. And I think Illinois is going to come back and have a nice big win, a statement game for them.
Doug?
Did I get a game right last week?
You did.
You did. I didn't think I got him right. I think.
Hey, I'll say this: you and Ron and Keith are doing very well in the college game.
Okay. Well,
thank you, Brent. In the college game.
In the college game.
We'll talk about the NFL later.
I also think Illinois wins and covers.
Tom, how about you?
I think Illinois wins, but they don't cover.
All right, so we're going to put you down for the Rutgers. I, too, as I said, 3 of us are doing really well. 2 of us are not. And 2 of us are going to go with Rutgers so we can kind of get the score going. I'm with you. I think Illinois wins, but Rutgers somehow slides in the back door with a backdoor cover band and hits it.
Remember, Joe, we say to never chase money. So don't try to come back with risky picks here.
Hey, remember that for my last call. That's all I'm going to say. So finally, we're back to where it just means more in the SEC. Vandy at Texas. Texas minus 2.5. It will be the first trip Vandy has been to Texas since, not Texas, just Austin, Texas, since 1903.
Oh, God.
Arch, questionable, concussion.
Oh, that's right. Concussion?
I saw today questionable. So, Keith, what do you think?
Well, I think Vandy wins. Texas squeaked out 2 overtime wins the last 2 weeks against Mississippi State and Kentucky. Vandy is just a better football team right now.
Ron?
I am going to say Texas, and I'm going to tell you why. I think Vandy is just... It's almost like the last 2 weeks have been somewhat exhausting games for Vandy here. Well, it's not LSU as much, but I think Vandy's a little worn down. Texas is at home, and Vandy's going on the road. So I'm for Jason and April. I am going Texas.
Doug, what do you think? Still pondering?
I think Texas wins and covers. I agree with Ron, and I think Texas's defense is better than Missouri's when they play at home.
Tom, what do you think?
I think without Arch, Vandy wins. That's a huge piece that they're missing, and I just think that Vandy will beat them.
I'm going to go with Ron and Doug, and I'm going to also add in the chaos of the SEC. Vandy loses, and next thing you know, there's like 7 teams tied with 2 conference losses, and they're going through tiebreaker scenario number 37.
Most first downs at home.
Yes. And then 38 is just let Herb Street decide. So anyway.
Herb Street's dog, yes.
Yeah. Whoever the dog runs to first. Georgia, Ron, do we have this at -7.5? Yes.
Yes.
Not at Florida, not at the world's largest cocktail party, but Georgia has won 4 straight and 2-2 versus the spread on this. So is this still in Jacksonville, or didn't they have to move it to Orlando? Or was that
I think
2
it's
years
in
ago?
Jacksonville,
Anyways,
isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's still in Jacksonville. Tom, what do you think?
Georgia. Florida's got an interim coach, so Florida all the way. Georgia all the way.
I think I'm just going to try to help everybody. Would this be the one that we'd say we all picked Georgia? But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
We all, Keith?
I'm in the same boat. Georgia's quietly climbed to number 5 in the nation, and I think they're going to loudly thump Florida.
Clapping.
Yeah, I think it's we're all going to go with Georgia. Yeah. Doug, anything to add on there?
Nope, I agree.
I'm shocked that this line was only 7.5. I thought it would be closer to 10. So,
Yeah.
Speaking of these 2 teams, we had to put this. It's been a long time since we had this, but this I think will be an interesting game. Mississippi State at Arkansas. Arkansas, surprisingly, -4.5. Just being at home would be 3. This is Arkansas's 3rd game in a row, but they've lost 6 straight. And 2 years ago, these teams played to a 7-3 game.
I remember that.
I believe I slept through most of that game 2 years ago, if I recall.
I think I was folding laundry.
I'm going to start off with Woo Pig. I'm going with Bobby. Bobby Petrino. That's all I'm going to say. Doug?
So if you figure that out and look at it, the last time either one of these teams won a conference game was against each other.
Yeah, I believe it.
Oh.
So, and I live down here close to the Hogs. I'm going to go with the Hogs too.
Woo Pig. There you go, Tom.
Mississippi State, cowbell. Give me the cowbell.
More cowbell. He took Ron's line.
I got a fever.
Cowbell.
No, I am going to, Missouri State touchdown, by the way, just now. I am going to say that Mississippi State is somewhat deflated after blowing a gigantic lead at home last week. And the fired up Hogs win.
By the way, it would cost you $9 2 days ago to get in this game.
I'm surprised it's that high.
Yeah, I might check an update here. I hate to say this. When you guys are talking hockey, I'll check and see what the price is.
Some of those upper level seats at Donald W. Reynolds Stadium, you can like dust off the bottom of a commercial jet. I mean,
Yes.
Keith, we'll get you, and then I'll give you a great story I heard one time.
I'm going with Arkansas winning pretty handedly. They're just bound to win one of these close games.
So I'm down at the Arkansas football clinic one year when they were doing all the expansion of the stadium. And one of the people said to the construction guys standing around there, they said, "Hey, what's going to be the attendance now? What is this going to seat?" And the guy goes, maybe 68, 69. And the guy goes, "Really? I thought it was supposed to be 72. He goes, "Oh, yeah. Frank said 72, so it's going to seat 72.
Oh,
Yep.
my.
Our last game, OU at Tennessee. This is a bad OU offense versus a bad Tennessee defense, but a good OUD versus a good Tennessee offense. So who's gonna prevail, good or bad? Tennessee minus 3.5. Tom, what do you think?
Give me the Tennessee offense.
Doug,
Yep, I'm with Tom.
Ron,
Rocky Top, you'll always be home sweet home to me.
Keith.
I won't go there, but I do pick Tennessee.
My assistant Eva just come and flashed that yes, the tickets are still $10 to get in Mississippi State, Arkansas.
You have a staff?
Yeah. She's already
doing
purchased
wrong?
our
I don't
Mizzou,
know.
Arkansas tickets for Thanksgiving weekend. I said, "What about the weather?" And they said, "We're going anyways." I said, "If the weather is bad, I'm not going." And I will Rocky Top it. All right, Tom.
Siesta?
I'm out.
See you here in a little bit. All right.
All right.
Now, hey, get your coins out. We're all about a little under 500 on our NFL picks. Yeah. Hey, I ought to have, what were you saying? I'd have the dog come in here and pick these. I'll write it on a deal and see which phone they go to. But the best team in the AFC, the number one seed currently, because we're halfway through the NFL season, number one, Indy at the Pittsburgh Mudhuts. The line is, I did not write these, Indy. Pittsburgh, a home dog again, just like they were last week against the Packers. Indy minus 3.5. Doug, what do you think? We know who you're not going with.
Indy.
Pete,
Indy.
Ron,
Have you guys seen the pictures of the Indianapolis owner on the sidelines taking notes during the game? And,
Yes.
and she's on a headset, too.
Yep.
yeah.
Because she says that being on the headset helps her understand things better. With that, I'm going Indy.
Same here. Okay, the next one, Jacksonville, who is the 8th team. So they're one spot out of the wild card at the Vegas Raiders. Jacksonville, a favorite, minus 3.5. Ron?
The only good thing to come out of their borderline unwatchable game in London when they lost to the Rams was they discovered, hey, we've got this Travis Hunter guy. Maybe we should throw the ball to him.
Exactly.
And because of that, they will win.
Pete, what do you think?
Somewhat the same logic. My fantasy team picked up Trevor Lawrence this week, so Jaguars big. Yeah, Jalen Hurts took the week off.
Somewhere along the lines, doesn't Pete Carroll figure something out? I mean,
am I still getting paid?
As Brady had to have been there the last 2 weeks, right? Going over shit with them and like, hey, what are we doing here and stuff. And so I think the Raiders win.
Maybe he gets Lendale to throw another dummy off a building. That worked the first time so well.
I don't know if last week, you remember me picking the first 2 games saying I want to pick this team, but I've been doing so bad, I'm going to go the other way, and they both lost. I want to do the same thing here. I want to pick the Raiders, but I'm going to go with Jacksonville. I'm doing my reverse psychology.
You're Costanza-ing it.
Yeah, so instead of that, so anyway. Kansas City at Buffalo. By the way, I saw that Kansas City, Buffalo is 4-1 against the Chiefs in the regular season, but 0-4 in the playoffs. So because of that, I'm going to take Buffalo at home. Don't go against the streak. Ron, what do you think?
I'm looking up the weather forecast for Buffalo on Sunday. They are calling for a 40% chance of showers and a low around 40. That's Bills weather. But the Chiefs win.
Is Lynn Dawson. I was getting ready to say, that's a typical Lynn Dawson deal right there. Keith?
It is Kansas City's game to win. But if I'm picking, I'm also picking the over in that game too.
Doug, what about you think?
What's the line?
Oh, sorry, Chiefs -1.5.
Basically a pick 'em.
Oh,
Yep.
I'll pick 'em. I think Butker is due to screw up again, and the Bills win. The Bills win by 2.
And
He's got the
Kansas
yips
City-
like a Blues goalie.
The Kansas City fans will handle that so well. Here's another shocker. Our next game is Atlanta at New England, who has the second best record in the AFC. The Patriots at home -5.5. That's who I'm going with. The Patriots. I've been thinking maybe I've been overthinking this NFL.
I like that.
Ron, what do you think?
Well, they've discovered former LSU receiver Keyshawn Butte, which is one of the great names ever to come out of the Louisiana State University.
Yes.
So, and by the way, this Drake May kid's pretty good. New
Yes.
England wins.
Keith, what do you think?
Same boat. New England covers.
Doug?
I will never pick Atlanta again for anything. Ever.
Hey, Doug sounds like a guy who lost a really large bet one time because of Atlanta.
who got kicked out of his survivor pool this last week
Yes.
because they gave up 180 points to Tua.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And by the way, Keith, I forgot to mention this. I like how you referred to your fantasy team as third person on there. Like there was someone else made that pick, like the GM for your owner. You're the owner, but anyway.
That's where he has his staff.
Yeah. Arizona at Dallas. I hate to say this. This is a must-win for Dallas. They got to beat a team that's not very good. And they're at home. It's Monday Night Football. And they're scoring a lot of points, and they're going to score more than Arizona can. I think there's another one you take the over.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going with Dallas. Ron, you're shaking your head.
The last 2 times I picked Dallas, they have lost.
I knew he was going to say that.
He's never going to pick Dallas again. So what do you think?
I'm picking the Cardinals.
There you go.
Go Big Red.
Keith?
Oh, it's Dallas. For sure, double digits, big win.
Doug?
I said that 2 weeks ago.
I picked Dallas, and that large sum of money that Atlanta cost me, I wanted on the over on this one, too.
There you go. Hey, by the way, last week, and even though I'm looking at my deal, I'm taking 4 of the favorites. Last week, Vegas got it stuck to them. It was like 11-2. The favorites went last week, and the over was like 10 games went over. So,
oh my!
Now I have not heard of any Vegas casinos shutting down this week, but at least they kind of got some money on there. So
they just raised drink prices.
Don't wager money on any of this unless you're in a pool like Doug did and you win.
Right. Blue Horseshoe, as always, thank you for our weekly tour of our 5 college games, 5 pro games, and it's time for us to take a commercial break and hear from Sandra Templeoff and the good folks at First Coast Steel Buildings. When we return, the World Series goes on, and boy, this has been an entertaining World Series. And then the St. Louis Blues. I don't even know where we start, Keith.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, exactly. When we come back.
At First Coast Steel Buildings, we stand out by combining cutting-edge engineering with a family-first approach to customer service. Every building is custom designed, ensuring a perfect fit for your location and purpose, while our galvanized steel guarantees durability and resilience. Contact Jason and his team at 314-4848 or visit their website at firstcoaststeel.com. From fun to practical to industrial, First Coast will provide a custom solution to any building need. From fun projects like a backyard bar or she shed to an industrial storage unit for your business, First Coast has you covered. Visit their website at stcoaststeel.com or give them a call at 912-314-4848. Discounts for military and first responders.
And we are back on the St. Louis Sportists Podcast with Doug Lansdowne, Joe Sperlin, Tom Mathis, and Keith Farrell. I'm Ron Cook, and Tom, the St. Louis Blues are currently 30th in the NHL. That's not good.
No, when you got Calgary and San Jose holding you up, that's not very good. I don't know. It's just been an unbelievably bad start, just bad luck, just bad playing. I mean, I'm just shocked. I really can't believe what's going on. I think probably the only person in shock more than any of us is Jim Montgomery.
He's a very unhappy guy right now, Keith.
Well, incredibly patient is run. I think that incredibly patient has run out. How can you take a team that was 1 second away from winning a playoff round last year to being 30th? I mean, is it Suter? Is it your 5th and 6th defenseman?
Or is it the fact that your goalies currently Benner has a .863 save percentage. Hofer has a ridiculous .793.
Oh.
And as far as their goals against, Benner's at .327, Hofer at 5.81.
I've never seen a worse goalie tandem in St. Louis.
Tom, is it time to send Hofer down? I can't believe I'd say that.
Well, I've thought about that too, but I mean, at this point, I don't know if you're the starting goalie down in Springfield going to be able to, give much relief up here. They lost Colt Ellis, before the season started on waivers, and now that's really hurt him. He could probably be up here giving Hofer some away time.
Yeah, that one hurt. That was like your equivalent in baseball of a Rule 5 pickup where someone comes in and you're like, no, I can't believe they took him.
Yeah, anybody's better than Hofer right now. I mean, Hofer is not even a starting AHL goaltender. He's
no.
Who was it? Jim Carrey, I think. He was with the Devils or someone out west or east. I mean, he had the case of the yips. These goaltenders who have these 1-year wonders sometimes get the case of the yips. Hofer hasn't gotten to a 1-year wonder status yet. So very concerning to say the least. These goals that are being allowed, he's not getting peppered. He is seeing these shots straight on, bad positioning. I like the kid, but man, we cannot continue to put him out there.
There are some very soft goals being scored, Tom, and it doesn't help that you've got Fowler, who's gone from a +19 last year to a -8, and Perico from a +12 to a -3 for those of you that are fans of plus-minus. But that in front, and you have to wonder how much of that is the fault of the goalies at this point.
Well, every little mistake that the defense or even the forwards make is turned into a goal. I mean, their turnovers are just horrible. I've heard this week, and this makes me wonder about NHL analytics because I've heard, I think the guy's name is Mike Kelley. He's on the FanDuel broadcast. He says the Blues are in the top 5 of all defensive metrics, but they're giving up like 600 goals in the first 10 games. So
That's brutal.
That shows me that those analytics don't mean anything.
Right. Well, and it's one of those situations where you hope that it doesn't come down to April and we are playing well. We put it all together and we look back and we're like, you realize if we wouldn't have gotten off to that god awful start.
Is it 5 losses in a row now?
Yeah, 5 losses in a row. The good news is Jake Neighbors was looking great, but now he's out for 5 weeks.
Jake was probably the best player on the team. I mean, the first few games he was hitting people, he was scoring goals. He's what you wanted all your other players to be. He was doing everything.
Yeah, we've talked before how he's got a little bit of Brian Sutter tendencies. He can beat you up and then score a goal.
Right.
So
right. Last night, Shin tried to get the team going a couple different times, and nobody else would join in. And
no one would fight him. Yeah, they knew what they were trying to do.
And it was just, lack of heart.
Yeah. The only good thing I'll say, Keith, is there's nowhere to go but up.
I don't know, man.
There's 2 more spots to go down.
There's still a couple teams below them. I think there's the way they're playing right now.
Oh, I was trying to be optimistic.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I kind of feel that. And you're going to get Dvorsky's up here now, so he's going to add a little bit of a jolt. Apparently, he's going to play on the top line.
Yeah.
See what we got.
And the power play.
And the power play.
Today, did you hear that today? Tom Monty said he's going to be on the power play.
Oh, really? Okay. Well,
yeah.
He can't hurt.
The other thing,
power plays look pretty bad.
The other thing too is, I watch hockey a lot. I'm nowhere close to being an analytical guy or anything like that, but I will tell you this much. Their power play is so predictable. They're gonna take the puck at the top of the point. They're gonna kind of shift the guy over toward the corner and look for a guy either for a tip, or they're gonna pass the puck over the other side of the point and try to get a more of an open shot. It's so predictable. Jamie Rivers today, I heard him on the radio today, former Blues defenseman, go, I can't watch this power play anymore.
There's a lot of passing and not a lot of movement.
Yeah.
Just, hey, we're going to score off a good pass. So the opposite of this in terms of excitement has been the World Series this year, which I kind of thought might be over and bad and stuff. But Doug, this has been some good baseball.
It has been good baseball. Yeah, it's been fun to watch. So I think there's a lot of people pulling for Toronto.
Schneider's batting right now, and I saw someone, I think it was Super 70s Joe, that said that he looks like a guy that was an undercover cop and ended up having to play in some games.
Doug, I think you say a lot of people. I think unless you're in LA, it's everybody would like to see Toronto win.
Yep.
Yeah, and the ratings are up. Obviously, you've got the Dodgers, which are fun to watch, and the Ohtani factor, but yeah, good ratings for it too. So it looks like, we're going back to Toronto. Tom, do you think the Jays have a realistic shot to pull this thing out?
As long as they don't pitch to Ohtani again the whole series. Make bets. Freeman, Will Smith's in behind him tonight. Make those guys beat him. I'd walk Ohtani when he leads off a game. I don't care. You just can't pitch to him.
This is when Rob Manfred is going to pass a rule middle of the World Series that says you have to pitch to Ohtani.
Yeah. You can only walk him every other at bat. I saw the deal on Twitter where there was like a suite full of major league ex-players, and there was like 10 of them up there. And when he come up, they all just started doing this. It was like just walking, just go.
It led to a discussion in our house of the pointing to first base versus actually having to throw the 4 pitches again. Which always took us back to, Joe, your Cincinnati Reds when Raleigh Fingers and the A's acted like they were going to walk Johnny Bench and then struck him out with the slider on the outside corner. We missed that.
Yep.
Oh, well. Keith, some shocking news this week that Lars Nootbaar could possibly be ready by opening day. Doesn't that warm the cockles of your heart here?
Yeah, it warmed my heart looking at the Cardinals' top prospects when I was looking at the looking for some relief. They they're besides JJ Weatherholt, their top 3 positional prospects are catchers.
Yeah.
And that's just great forecasting by the Cardinals farmhands. And it's so hard to watch. This team's going to be bad for another 2 years, I think.
2 years for sure.
But the new part thing, what's he going to do? Not go to spring training and be in the opening day lineup? It's a 4 to 6 month injury. I just don't see him coming back. Give him his due.
He's going to walk on his tiptoes the whole time.
But if you're trying to trade him, you say, "Oh, he's fine.
He's great.
He's good.
Just
He'll be
ask
ready
him."
to go." Oh, hey, there was a setback in the rehab. Sorry.
He broke his turf toe.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you non-tender him?
You have to.
Yeah. Well, and Bernie Miklas's point was his trade value is so incredibly low right now. You bring him back as a 4th outfielder and hope he shows he can swing the bat and do something. Otherwise, we're back in what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. You're back in Lonnie Smith for John Morris again. So, with that, it's time for the last call, brought to you by Black Dog Consulting. Black Dog LLC is here to help the one truck owner and the small fleet owner to grow and prosper. Our buddy Dave Reinhardt has 37 years and 4 million plus miles of experience, as well as flatbed, step deck, overdimensional, dry vans, and refrigerated units. Dave has experience with dispatch, brokerage, back office, and as a shop manager mechanic, he grew his last fleet from 1 truck to 5 with nearly $3.7 million of gross revenue. And if this is the growth you're looking for, contact Dave at 417-217-9622 or oldblackdog0523@gmail.com. Black Dog Consulting, helping you retrieve bigger profits. Joe Sperlin, what is your last call?
Speaking of bigger profits, I saw this, and of course, worried about fake news. I had to look it up, and this was from about a week ago in Newsweek, that the AI bots show signs of gambling addiction.
No.
Okay? So the same technology used in ChatGPT and Google Gemini made high-risk betting decisions, and then given more freedom, they escalated their bets until they lost everything.
Not so smart after all, are you, AI?
Yeah. It was a slot machine simulation with $100 with known negative expected returns.
Oh, my.
And then when they allowed them to vary the bets and set their own targets, they, knowing what the outcome was going to be, they chased their losses and made larger bets when statistically it was unwise to do. Now, these are the same bots that are used for financial forecasting and market analysis.
I feel better already.
Oh, I'm moving my 401k.
Yeah.
I've seen this movie. James Cameron directed it in the early 80s, mid 80s. Arnold Schwarzenegger was in it. It was called The Terminator. When I saw that, I double and triple checked that. And yeah, my favorite was chasing their losses.
Yeah.
And when they were not going to win, they still kept betting and raising their prices. And there you have it, folks.
That's the most shocking thing I've heard in a while. Wow. All right, Doug. Good luck topping that one.
Glad I get to follow that. So
Yeah.
well, college basketball starts for real next week. So we all have our teams we like and stuff, but I'm going to give you 2 teams to cheer for and 2 reasons why. There's only one Division I men's team that has 0 transfers on it this year. That would be Marquette.
Shaka.
Shaka.
Did
And
not know that. I love me some Shaka.
love Shaka. Since Jimmy Carter left office, Purdue has only had 2 men's basketball coaches.
Wow.
So there's a couple of teams to root for with the world of NIL and firing guys every other week.
I remember when Painter had dark hair.
Yep.
I remember when Painter was an outside shooter.
Yeah, I do too. It'd be interesting to
Gene
look
Katie
at
had dark hair too.
I was just going to say, it'd be interesting to compare Katie's hair at that age versus Painter's. Yeah.
Katie's still alive too, right?
He's alive.
Yeah.
He didn't look that great. He was at a
Ooh.
game last year, Doug,
Yeah.
remember?
Ooh.
But yeah, he
Yeah.
does not look good.
Well, Sister Mary Loyola died though.
All right, at Loyola. Tom Mathis, what do you have?
So this was given to me by my son-in-law Dustin last week. Then we kind of talked about it in a text thread, but AJ McCarron has announced that he's running for Congress because he's been stirred to run by Charlie Kirk's activities. When are these athletes and coaches going to realize that politics is totally different from sports, and they're going to get in there and have no idea what they're doing?
Well,
AJ, I always think about when he went for his draft interviews and they said that he was such a gigantic jerk that it cost him like a round or two.
Really?
I have never heard that. Like, because typically they say, oh, he was brilliant in the interviews. He's the only person I can ever really remember them saying, yeah, he was, we didn't draft him because of his interview.
well, maybe he does have a career in politics.
There you go.
Pearl might too then.
Mr. Farrell.
Well, remember a couple years ago, the hype around Deion Sanders at Buffalo and what he did that first year. Let's just go for a little update. Last weekend, they lost 53-7 against Utah. Not exactly a barn burner. Sanders is now 15-16 at Colorado, $10 million a year, and $43 million to go through 2029. Is Colorado looking up? No way. I think this is going to be a disaster the last 4 years.
If he makes it.
If he makes it.
He does, Joe, he's got some health issues that
Yes.
we've seen. And so that might be a convenient way for him to walk away a little bit.
Exactly. And still give him the famous advisor role with Colorado for a year or so.
Yeah, he could be a technical advisor or maybe he could go recruit people. I don't know. But yes, Keith, it is not going as they anticipated.
No.
All right, so for my last call, we're going to bookend here with gambling. Joe Sperlin, The Atlantic, had an article called Prop Bets Must Die. And so they talk about how legalized gambling, sports books and casinos took in, are you ready for this? $13.7 billion with a B in revenue. That was an all-time record. And they're going to set another record this year. They said they're going to easily pass that. And so the prop bet is one of the main factors driving that. We talked about in-game, and so in-game and prop bets are driving this growth. Well, a representative out of New York has introduced a bill which would ban prop bets on all college and amateur athletes. Okay, that's step one. But in step two, they're getting ready to go a little farther. In Ohio, the governor, he's already banned college. And so now they're getting ready to ban all prop bets on sporting events in Ohio. And of course, this is getting a lot of attention after the NBA scandal, which came out just after we taped last week. This was funny. 2 days before the scandal broke last week, Adam Silver said on the McAfee show that NBA had asked some of the gambling platforms to pull back on some of the prop bets. So now, again, all we're talking here is legal prop bets, because if you want to make a prop bet badly enough,
You'll find it.
you'll find a way. You'll find a way. It will be a challenge to eliminate them all, but guess what the first single player prop bet was? Does anyone know that has not looked at the show notes?
No.
It was for William Refrigerator Perry to score a touchdown in Super Bowl 20 in 1986.
That's right.
The very first prop bet.
And he did score.
And he did score. Walter Payton did not, but he did.
Right.
And I closed my last call with the fact, according to data from the Center for Gambling Studies at Rutgers, boy, I want to work there.
Oh my God. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Prop bets lose, are you ready for this? 70% of the time. So, Joe, turn your AI bot loose on some prop bets and see what happens. That's where this all wraps up. Yeah.
Just go the opposite. Win 70% of the time.
And that does it for this week's edition of the St. Louis Sportists Podcast. Joe Sperlin, thank you, sir.
Yeah, enjoyed it as always, guys. Glad to see everybody.
Doug Lansdowne.
Yep. Had a good time. Everybody have a good evening.
Tom Mathis.
Enjoy the bye week for Mizzou. No quarterbacks will get their legs broke this week.
That's true. Get some things done Saturday. Keith Farrell.
Go Jays.
And go Jays. And with that, we will see you next week on the St. Louis Sportists Podcast. And until then, take care.
And that wraps another episode of the St. Louis Sportists Podcast. Please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest episodes. You can find these guys on all major podcast platforms. And thanks for listening.